Hi, what's good, guys? I'm Abhitej. This is Nihal,
What's good?
my
What's
friend, and we're gonna be recording me cleaning my tank, my first ever tank. Now, recently, like literally just a couple of hours ago, my oldest fish actually died. So, honestly, it's really sad. I should have taken care of this tank a little bit better, but at least we get to do it now, and we'll see how the first tank actually evolved and what kind of plants I have in here. So now what I'm doing here is taking out the plants, and once I do that, I'll also take out the fish so I can give it a proper funeral. Oh, what? Yo. Yo, give me a... Yo, please. Ah, my eyes. Alright, bro. Good, Mario. Thank you. That's so raw. There's no soil I can put on this. That's crazy. Oh my god, it's so rock cold. Why, bro? I can't bury this. Alright, too bad. Is this... Bro, none of this... That's okay, whatever.
We're good?
I think the best thing that I do for this tank specifically is take apart the filter very well. And once I clean every leaf individually for all the plants, it ends up being one of the better maintained tanks in terms of algae maintenance, and it has like the least algae problems out of the 3 tanks that I have. Yeah, we can start. Alright, we're gonna make this a little bit more of a video interview, so Nihal will ask me a couple questions. Do you want to turn it around actually, so it's like both of us talking at the same time, or you just want to be your camera?
I'll just be the camera right now.
Be camera guy?
Yeah.
Alright, word.
Alright. So, first question.
Yeah.
How do you think your reaction to fish dying has changed since your first fish has died and since the most recent one?
Oh, that's a great question actually, because I think my first beta, right? I got really attached. Am I in the video also?
Wait, let me.
Alright, word. Okay, so like with my first beta, I got like super attached, and it had this thing called dropsy, and this bacteria basically it wouldn't let it pure poop, so it started filling up. I was like, oh shoot, what do I do to get some salts, Epsom salt, whatever. I was researching, and then towards the weeks it was gonna die, I was tearing up like I can't do anything. I was kind of hopeless. And then when it died, I was like, damn, bro, I low-key don't even want another fish. But slowly you get used to it in terms of like shit happens. Life is gonna go on. So after that first death, I was a little bit more careful about like the water conditions and like what type of plants I put. But other than that, I'm kind of used to fish dying. It's happened here or there. You can't do much about it. All you can do is like prevent it the best. So I think that's where it really started.
Now, on that same topic, finding out about the fish's like disease and all that.
Yeah.
Where did you usually go to research that? Like websites, YouTube articles, anything like that?
Oh my god. Okay. So if my first ever appearance on the internet actually is probably from a fish farm. So I used to go on these fish farms and then send pictures of my fish. It was some bloated fish too, bro. And I'd be like, what's happening to my fish? I didn't know any better. So when I signed up, I was like, I even asked like. I had a bunch of pest snails at one point, like early on, back in 2018, 2019. So I used to ask, like, what are these snails? Are they good for my tank? And then one person said, it's like, those are pest snails. So what me and my mom did was take the whole tank out and literally boil all the ground. We boiled the glass, we put boiling water so all the snails or all the baby snails would get killed. And we separated all of our, like, actual fish. So that was something that I really used, the fish forums online, and plus PetSmart, they had their own guides. Yeah. Pet Kill. That was pretty cool.
Nice. So do you think that taking care of your fish has become easier over the years, or do you think it's stayed the same level of difficulty?
I think initially I just didn't know what I had to do for my fish, so that was really hard. But after the first tank, having this for like 2-3 years, I got it down to a science, take out the plants, clean them out individually. I know it's a little time-taking process and most people don't actually do that, but I feel like for a fish tank to look really good and to leave it alone for a long time, you have to clean it out thoroughly once. Now, most people do like twice every week, you know, they do their water changes. I'm more like 3-4 times, 3 to 4 times, you know, what am I going to say? 3 to 4 weeks at a time. That's what I want to do. So that's how I go about it, but it's like more of a deep clean, and I take out 50 to 75% of my water. I think that works better, especially because when I'm going to college, I don't have time, and you know the weekends they're pretty booked. So whatever time I do get, I'll spend like 2 hours in my big tank, an hour and a half in the small tank, and it usually takes up like an afternoon or now like the nights. Yeah.
So based on your prior videos, we can tell that you're pretty much an expert on fish tank cleaning and all of anything related to do with fish.
Honestly, I wouldn't even call myself an expert. I can't lie. Because to this day, it's like, I know it's been like 6 years or something like that, but I feel like I'm learning something new. I have my friend Ray, and he owns like at least 7 fish tanks. So he teaches me new stuff, you know, what kind of gravel I should get. You know, I wanted some fertilizer soil, so he'll point me in the right direction, and how I'm supposed to maintain a planted tanks. And there's a lot to learn in this hobby that I wouldn't call myself an expert by any means. But what was your actual question? I didn't get to that.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But we can say you're pretty well informed now, at least, right?
Sure,
and like experienced. What would you say is a good tip for beginners that want to start an aquarium? Like what should they look out for? What should they start with? And like beginner sized tanks, all that. What do you think?
Oh, what should they look out for? You know, I think you should invest heavily in a good tank. I think whatever setup you do have, give it some like quality, get a quality thermostat, get a quality cleaner, because you won't be replacing these items anytime soon. And if you want to take good care of it, you want to have like the proper lighting, because sometimes it's easier to just have a timer for your tank and have a fish feeder to make sure they get fed every day and the lights are turned on properly, rather than missing out on a couple of days. So invest good into some quality products. Don't cheap out, because I think that's one of the worst things I could have done early on, but I didn't. And I'm very glad. And obviously look for coupons. I think a huge thing is people miss out on some deals. So especially in the pet world, you can get a lot of coupons, Mayview coupons, whatever you want. You know, the deals will come if you make it happen. Yeah.
Kind of on that same topic, but relating to another topic. For beginners, what do you think is a good beginner fish to get as a way to learn as a way to start the hobby?
I think you know, the beta is always a classic. You know, it's just that singular fish, and I would agree that's a very nice fish. I would say start off with a 5-gallon. You don't want anything too big of a commitment, and you want to make sure you can actually take care of your tank. Now, it doesn't take too long. You know, it's like you look at your tank every for a few minutes every day, just making sure the fish are alive and like everything's doing well. It doesn't take too long. But I'd say a beta, and if not a beta, I would get like 3 or 4 neon tetras and a snail. I think those are just a few solid options I would go. That's how I started my tank. I first had a beta, then added some snails, shrimp, neon tetras, and then from there we expanded into like plecos and all other sorts of fish. So that was cool. And also you have to find out what fish go with the beta. I think one of my earliest mistakes is I put zebra Daniels with the beta and neon tetras. The zebra Daniels weren't fast enough, so the beta would actually eat the fins of the zebra Daniels. So watch out. Make sure you look into the compatibility before you buy the fish.
Yeah. Interesting. So on that topic, what do you think was your biggest, or actually not on that topic, but continue on. What do you think has been your biggest wall to overcome, or the biggest setback that you've endured to when it comes to your hobby?
The biggest setback. Did I want to keep going? I think that was a really big question I had, because I already had one tank, and then when I was 18, I was like, oh, you know, I want to go bigger and better, right? I want to get that 40-gallon tank. And now it's like, did I go too far getting a 3rd tank for my beta over there? Because now it's like, I think one thing I didn't realize, this is a great thing I didn't realize. For vacations, right? Let's say I have to go to India. How would you manage the tank then, right? Sure, I have an auto feeder and stuff like that, but if you went for a month, 2 months, it gets really difficult to manage. I think that was one of the one of the things I didn't realize with this hobby, and that's like one of the hardest challenges, being able to make sure your tanks are taken care of well while you're away. Now fish, that's the benefit of fish. You can just leave them be, and you know they just stay in their box. It's not like a dog you have to put to a daycare center. They're really autonomous, but one single thing can happen. Your thermostat goes away, you know, the water temperature changes or something, and then all the fish die suddenly because the water temperature changed and you just weren't there. So you have to be on the lookout for that. But I don't think that's the worst part of the hobby. It's a really good thing to have, just to have these fish to look at, to relax. It's a good part.
Nice. And how did you deal with those setbacks? Like any specifically, if we.
How did I deal with it?
Like for all those vacations that you went on. And...
For all those vacations. Okay, so originally I used to have fish feeders, so you just put a little like tablet here and there. So most of my vacations were like a week or 2 weeks. And once when I went to India, right, like last year, I had to get my petanana or my an uncle to come here once every 2 weeks, just like make sure the fishing was going to drop the regular feeders. So just that type of maintenance was all that was needed. Nothing too much. But yeah, and that's nothing too hard. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
I think I finished cleaning the thing, so now I'll dump out the water. You wanna end the video now?
Yeah.
I'll switch the tempo up a little bit and put Swan Lake. Let's see how it goes. At this rate, I think the music is more intense than the actual scrubbing. We're almost done with the tank, especially since we just cleaned out the water and got new water in, but we'll add in another interview real quick. Alright, let's do round 2 of the recording interview. What's the next question?
So next question, how much do you think is the estimated cost for all of your tanks combined and all the equipment and everything?
Oh, all of my tanks?
Or you could do a breakdown and then like a total estimate after.
Yeah, for sure, why not? Okay, this itself. Okay, so it depends on the tank, but this can this cost me like $20 or not. And then the tank itself cost me $40, $45. I got it as a Christmas present, and it came with the filter and lights. Most tanks don't have that, so you have to think about that. The gravel, I would say $10 to $15. This is I would say 4 pounds of gravel, so it wasn't too much. And each plant you see here will cost. So this itself will cost $10. So just imagine how many I have. And this bundle I have right here, this Anubias, this would cost, I would say, $10 just to get. So each plant, I would give it an estimation of like $40. Now in my other tanks, it probably runs up a check. I got like, I would say a total of $150 in plants. And obviously, I mean, I didn't buy $150 worth of plants. These just kept growing and growing, and so I got to put in other tanks. What else did I do? The fish food, that's like $5 to $10. And if you get a big pack, you kind of save a little. And each fish, right? That costs $2.99. It's any tetra really, $2.99, $3.49. That's the usual price. Betas can run you up for like $5 to $10, depends on the fish. Can even go $20 for like some deluxe or premium version. For this setup, I put it around $70, $80. Wasn't too much. My other tank though, that was crazy. My 40-gallon, that itself, the acrylic tank, it's very special because it's acrylic. It cost me $300. The stand, that cost me $60. The filter was $50 itself. You know, because everything was scaled up. What else did it have? The tree trunk that you see as a tree, that also cost $40. All of these decorations, they run you up a lot of money, but I think the coupons saved me a lot. So doing that, the 50% off on all the plants, that was also really good. Is there anything else? I can't really think of, but that tank, like I would say easily above $500, $600 if I added everything up, plus the maintenance cost. So yeah, that's that.
Okay, so it's pretty expensive depending on the tank, you'd say.
Yeah, depending on the tank, but I think it's better than a dollar or cat.
Okay.
Those easily cost you 1.1K, 2K, who knows? So
yeah,
in that sense, I think it's a win for me.
What would you say is the process of acclimating a new fish into your tank?
Oh yeah, dude. I wish I had a thing to show you, but I use this drip system actually. Let me see. Okay, this tank right here. I can show. Let me first actually add the plants. You want to make it a time lapse first? I'll put as a time lapse adding the plants.
Yeah, 1 second.
Funny thing is, I never end up explaining it, and there's not much left to this video, so let's just keep watching.
Just finished up the last video, and shout out to my man Nihal. You know, he helped me out with the whole cameraman process, so that was good. But here's our tank. We'll see what we can add next. I have one red Serpe Tetra in there, but we'll see what else we can add. It's a 6.5 gallon, so we can add like 5 more Tetras, and I'll keep you posted on the next video. See you guys.